Welcome back, it is yours truly Nick, a Movie AV Impulse, and if it's your first time to the channel, please consider after watching this video hitting that like, subscribe, and share. Now I want to touch upon a subject that I felt I've always categorized this way, but I guess the rest of the world kind of didn't do it in that fashion. I am going to get into why I separate Mafia movies and gangster movies, because to me, they are two totally separate genres when it comes to the film industry, the film world, the cinematic world, however you want to put it. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll kind of understand why I separate them. And without any further ado, let's get into the intro. So to give you a quick rundown, about a week ago, I had posted a teaser of what my Sunday video was going to be about. I had said I am going to review a 4K release box set of my favorite gangster movie. My buddy over there, Derek from Pure Hangout, if you want to get to know him a little bit more, he did a great conversation with my buddy KB, and I will link that right here. After the video, go check that video out. It is worth a watch, and that man has got one heck of a mustache.
Not have the dash, but you'll win yourself a girl if you've only got a mustache, a mustache, a mustache, if you've only got a mustache.
He had DM'd me on Instagram, and he was like, "Oh man, I hope this movie is Gotti." And I said, "No, Gotti is a Mafia movie." And he kind of just was like, "What?" And I said, no, I separate Mafia movies and gangster movies because to me, they are two totally separate genres. And I have made tons of videos with, me just going over my top 5 gangster movies, my top 5 Mafia movies that got me obsessed with the Mafia. And not only that, but I've always kind of just had this obsession with gangster and Mafia movies. And if you've been to my channel before, I think I've made that pretty clear. Here's why I separate them and I do not put them in the same category. I have no idea why when you Google search greatest gangster movies of all time, they bring up things like The Godfather, or they bring up A Bronx Tale, or they bring up Casino. These are not gangster movies. These are Mafia movies. And the reason why I say that is because these movies are based upon Mafia. Just like Goodfellas is. Goodfellas is based on the Mafia. Same with Gotti, which I love Gotti. And if you haven't seen Gotti, my God, get on it. It is a phenomenal movie. I don't know why nobody will listen. It is one of the best adaptations of a Mafia movie. I said it. And to think that that was actually made for TV. But anyways, let's get back to the subject. So what I'm saying is these are movies that are based on Mafia. I don't understand why you would call these gangster movies. To me, gangster movies are basically somebody from the hood, an entrepreneur that came up, and not even necessarily from the hood, just like a broke down environment where they had no option but to either start strong arming people, start selling, drugs or heroin or whatever you may have. This is how I look at a gangster film. It's something like King of New York. I'm really going to twist your head on the third one. New Jack City. While this is a hood gangster movie, I still put it in the gangster category because, hood movies are hood movies, but hood movies can go very far. And if you want me to make a video on that genre and why we call it hood movies, leave a comment down below and I would definitely get into that. And then even movies out of country, you know, an Asian film, a Korean film, anything like that, something like New World. This is a gangster flick, just told in a different origin, you know, a different country. But this is considered a gangster flick, not a mafia flick. Now, while movies like Sugar Hill have little tiny aspects of mafia because Wesley Snipes' character is, you know, a young black entrepreneur, started in the streets, worked his way up. Same with American Gangster, worked his way up. It was all these different things that made him gangster. You knew not to play with these boys. These guys will, you know, do what they got to do. Same with New Jack City. Nino Brown will do whatever he has to do to get that money, and that's all he cares about. So that's why I separate them. Mafia movies are strictly based on mafia families, and most of the time they are based upon true stories. Like Goodfellas. Goodfellas is based upon a true story. Casino is based upon a true story. Gotti is pretty much the whole, you know, how the Gambino family came up. And you have gangster movies where it's more kind of fairy tale-ish, but it's always kind of based off of someone. Like American Gangster. American Gangster is based off of Frank Lucas. Same with Black Mass. I consider that a gangster film because another thing, you know, yes, it does have small elements of the mafia being in it. It's still, he was a gangster. He did what he had to do. Black Mass is one of those phenomenal movies. When I heard that they were coming out with a movie, I knew about his legacy and his gangster way back when because I'm from Massachusetts. So when I heard that they were making a movie about Whitey Bulger and I seen like how much Johnny Depp actually looked like him, it was absolutely insane. That's why I separate them. I hope I didn't lose most of you. So if you have any further questions, please leave your comments down below. There are plenty of, you know, movies that I would put in the gangster category and then in the mafia category, but that's just the way I've always broke it down. And I always thought that everybody else did too. And it was kind of a shocker. But I hope this kind of explains why I separate them and why I can't stand the fact that when you look up gangster movies, always go to mafia movies. So that's just me. Anyways, thanks for checking the video out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It don't hurt. It's totally free. And hit that like because I get into that algorithm. And hit that share because there's a lot of people that still put gangster and mafia in the same category. Anyways, I will see you on Wednesday with another top 5.